Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the final round of the GT2 Championship here at North American Grand Prix. Before I go any further, let me welcome my partner in crime here on Monday nights, Brad Maris. Brad, welcome.
Al, as always, fantastic to be here. Looking forward to our season finale.
Well, as most of you can tell here, we're just waiting to jump into the server here. I just wanted to get this broadcast started here. I don't want people to think that we're not broadcasting the race tonight. That's not the case. We're just waiting for the grid to be set here manually, which we're in the middle of. So once that's done, we're going to go ahead and jump in to the server, and we're just about ready to get underway here. Once we are in, it'll go to warm-up, and then we'll get underway with the 2-hour race from Spa. So, looking forward to this race here tonight, Brad. A lot up for grabs. Team championship. Most notably, that is the closest right now. Just 2 points separating 1 and 2 right now. T-Brock Dam Bam and MRL 6.
Yeah, absolutely right. And we talked a little bit about it during our qualifying race last week about the John Houston, Eiran Parsons team, as well as the David Rowley team there, and maybe John Houston not qualifying as well for that T-Brock Dam Bam team. But so both teams looking to make up some ground and top each other. It's an exciting classification, that team championship.
Well, last week, John Houston in the Super Pole qualifying event, not a good night for him, but lucky for him, David Rowley also suffering another dismal night here at the races in GT2. Not a great season for Rowley. John Houston, on the other hand, has had a pretty decent season here so far. Had a second place finish at Cheika, which we'll take a look at later on tonight. But yeah, he's managed to score some points for that T-Brock Dam Bam team, and well, it's managed to get them out front at the moment heading into tonight's race.
Yeah, some valuable points, of course, picked up by Eiran Parsons in that qualifying race last week. But I tell you, I'm looking through the standings myself, have been all seasons, of course, and I'm really looking at that Alex White near domination of this season so far. That's a little bit of a surprise there in my mind, Al.
Yeah, it has been a surprise, and he has dominated much of this season. David Poole currently in second place. Well, we were talking, Alex White definitely leading right now with 155 points, but David Poole 22 points back in second with 133. Poole is going to have to put on his best effort here tonight and somehow try and finish second or better in order for him. Actually, no, he's going to have to win this race in order for him to win this championship, and it's going to take some bad luck from White in order for him to finish with the title. But you never know here at Spa. Eau Rouge is a dangerous track, so Brad, looks like we're in quali 2, and let's jump in.
Yeah, sounds great.
But Spa is a dangerous track, especially through Eau Rouge. And, well, we saw firsthand. Hold on here. Ooh, I thought I crashed for a minute. Luckily, I did not. But we saw firsthand last week Ian Jolicoeur going through Eau Rouge early in that one and just lose it and into a pile of rubble into the wall. Tough night for Ian. But
yeah,
White's gonna have to be careful.
Certainly, that was one of our most explosive Eau Rouge incidents for sure. I just wanted to refer back to the points real quickly, talking about David Poole there in second place. You know, his very worst result of the season, and compared to the rest of his results over the course of the season, was absolutely disastrous there at that Cheika race. in those wet conditions. The guy only picked up 3 points out there. This would have been a completely different championship. Without that one race, hadn't Pryor finished worse than about 8th place all season, and then he had that near almost no points finish at Chaika. So, yeah, David Poole, an uphill battle here tonight. He's going to have to hope Alex White pretty much loses it up at Eau Rouge, like you say, Al.
Yeah, that was that particular week. That was a tough week for David Poole. He DNF'd in both GT2, and GT1. So definitely a week he'd like to forget. But ultimately, I mean, he was very consistent throughout this entire season. Up until that point, took a gamble on tires in the wet, and it cost him big time. But moving on here, we should talk about also the competition index. Heading into the final round here, Gregory Myers leading the way with, which is another prize we give out here at NAGP, which rewards the driver that covers the most distance throughout the season. And after 9 rounds, Greg Myers leading with 377 total laps, 1,737.2 kilometers covered. Second place is David Poole with 373 laps and 1,719.3 kilometers covered. So Greg Myers looks like he's in the driver's seat.
Yeah, and not an uncommon place for Gregory Myers to be. Of course, we know just how consistent that guy is, and he's perennial contender for that prize over the course of just about every season we've had here at NAGP. So he'll be looking to cap another one of those off here tonight, and good luck to him.
Well, the competition index is definitely a prize anybody can win. It doesn't matter if you're fast, if you're not, mid-pack, near the back. As long as you try and finish on the lead lap, then chances are you'll have a shot at that prize. So Greg doing a great job there, as he always does. And just it's funny looking at Greg. We always comment on Greg's qualifying, how he's not the best qualifier. In GT2 this season, his best start was 16th, and his best finish was 5th. Had 7 top 10s and that 1 top 5. So gotta hand it to Greg. He's very consistent.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't. That's really a product of a lot of guys just having trouble in front of them. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think Greg should have posted the results that he has. I think a lot of guys need to look at Gregory's consistency, starting back from those spots. I mean, geez, just imagine if the guy could qualify a little bit better, and then imagine some of the guys that do start in front of him. Well, take a note out of Gregory's playbook. If you expect to run up there and earn yourself some points, get in some of these battles. Look, Gregory Myers is in 6th place as a result of just keeping the darn thing on track after starting 16th. And who knows where that average starting position is. So, yeah, good on Greg is what I have to say, and good luck to him.
So yeah, as you mentioned, Greg 6th in the championship with 73 points. So definitely a good season for Greg. Alex White, as we mentioned, leading. David Poole 2nd with 133 points. Eiran Parsons currently 3rd with 100 and I don't think that's right. He's 130 points. So the standings I'm looking at is not updated, but. I think Eiran Parsons, he's out after last week's DNF. He needed to score some extra points in the Super Pole race, and he crashed out and was eliminated himself from the championship. Chris Moses 4th. Now, Chris is a guy who, well, after Paul Ricard, it went downhill from there. He was right up there in the championship fight. Had a win at Thruxton in the wet. Had a decent finish at Donington. Then came Paul Ricard. Finished out of the points there. Poor finish at Road America, Istanbul, and DNF at Chaika. So just a miserable second half of the season for Moses.
Yeah, pretty dismal. And going real quickly back to Aaron Parsons there, Aaron Parsons only had 2 results that just weren't quite up to snuff, garnering 6 points there at Road America and then 12 at Chaika after he also had a crash there late in that race. Not his fault, but really good points earned, but compared to Alex White and David Poole up there at the top, just couldn't quite hang with them down the stretch, and Aaron Parsons will be out of this particular championship. We've seen him win, of course, many here GT2 championships, but he'll have to wait till next season.
Well, another person we should mention as well is Andres Preto. He was up there fighting for the championship for a while, but then he had some connection issues, found himself disconnecting several times during qualifying, having started from the very back at Paul Ricard and ended up finishing third, nearly finishing second, got passed late, and late in that one by Aaron Parsons. But you wonder how if Andre's connection was stable, where he could have been right now at this point in the season.
Yeah, well, no question about it. And I mean, if his connection's good, look, the guy's going to run toward the front, and he's going to be involved in the championship hunt. There's just no way about it. He's too fast not to. So, hopefully he's got those figured out. And what else can you say? If he's on track and he doesn't lose connection, he's going to be in the mix.
Well, dynamite pole for Parsons last week. Andres starting second, and his teammate Juan Monroy starting third. Both these guys finished 1 and 2 last week in the qualifying race. So should we expect a little bit more of the same here tonight, Brad? They had tremendous pace last week in that short race.
Well, it's all going to come down to whether they can get the jump on Aaron Parsons here at the start. It's possible they may have found a little bit to hold pace with Aaron Parsons, but that Lamborghini is just so good through the second sector. I mentioned it last week, looking at the sector times. Aaron Parsons had taken his pole lap by a full 1 second over everybody except Andres Prieto. He was still 1/2 second of Andres in that second sector, so Lamborghini performed very well around there. And Aaron Parsons, we talked about his disappointing season. Well, no doubt he's going to be looking for some revenge here tonight. And I can't put my money on anybody else. But if Andres can jump, maybe Juan as well, jump him on the start, well, I guess all bets are off.
Oh, two guys we're definitely going to be keeping an eye on tonight. Alex White and David Poole starting. David Poole is going to be starting right behind White on the grid here tonight. David Poole with a great run last week in the qualifying race, started from the back and worked his way all the way up to 8th. So Poole right where he wants to be. He's got his rival in his sights. He's just going to have to get by him, and you don't want to see you don't want to wish any bad luck on anybody, but in David's case, he's going to want White to make a disastrous mistake somewhere to give him a chance.
Yeah, well, David Poole really got the job done last week after, like you say, that penalty and then having to come up through the field in that qualifying race. He did exactly what he needed to do. And Alex White, with the weight and after those tires wore a little bit, did fall back through the field. I think there's a very good chance David Poole will finish ahead of Alex White over the course of this race with his much better tire and fuel economy. However, will it be enough? We know that David Poole pretty much has to win this thing. That's going to be tough, but he will have some advantage over those other guys with those fuel and tires, so best of luck to him, but it's going to be an uphill battle.
Well, we want to tell you guys about those watching tonight about our live timing. Just simply go to NorthAmericanGP.com, and right at the top you'll see GT2 live timing. Click on that and you'll be able to follow your favorite driver on track and give you lap time, gap, session time, all that good stuff. So keep an eye on that if you want to follow what's going on track when when we're not covering your particular driver.
Keep tabs on your favorite driver. Absolutely. Great resource, Val.
So this is going to conclude season 19 after tonight, and as the warm-up ends here, we'll get into further detail what we're going to do next season. I know a lot of guys are getting a little antsy on what we're going to do, and we got some sims that are potentially coming out shortly. So we're aware we are working to come up with something, and just going to have a little bit of patience while we make sure we test any new sims that come out and find something that suits the league the best. So just stay tuned on that.
Yeah, well, there's certainly some exciting news in the pipeline, but like you say, we're going to leave it to the Grand Poobah to make all the final decisions, and we all know Al's going to do a great job.
Oh, thank you, Brad. Oh, warm-up's just about completed here, and we're going to move on to the race and run down the starting grid. We got a full house here tonight. Current track conditions in the ambient temperature 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Track temp 72 degrees. Sunny. So it looks like we're going to have a dry race for the moment. Starting on pole, Eiran Parsons. Second, Andres Prieto. Juan Monroy is going to start third. Marty Eiran fourth, and Chris Moses top 5.
Alex White will start 6th. Tiago Canola will start 7th. David Poole starts 8th. Mike Monahan starts 9th, and Christian Hamilton takes 10th.
Kurt Chandler, his final season here at NAGP, retiring after tonight. Something tells me he'll be back, but says he's going to keep broadcasting. He's starting 11th on Thursday nights. 12th, Esteban Palacio. 13th, Jack Ivey. 14th, Marco Conti. 15th, Johnny Lugnuts and Jens. Oh, sorry, Brad. Go ahead. Got ahead of myself.
No problem, Al. You mentioned it. Jens Klimpnauer starts 16th. Gup Douglas starts 17th. Kevin Miller is in 18th. Gregory Meyer starts 19th. And newcomer Dan Collins starts 20th.
Kenny Mervin, 21st. John Solberger, 22nd. 23rd, Liquid Lou Mascarelli. 24th, Kevin Savoy. And 25th, Felipe Triana.
Sam Rolfe starts 26th. Rodrigo Triana starts 27th. Jesse Caldani starts 28th. John Houston's in 29th. And Mike Greatrex is in 30th.
Dave Rowley, 31st. Drew Litkia, 32nd. Jared Keene, 33rd. Simon Goodwin, 34th. And 35th will be Brian Story.
Boy, that's exciting stuff, Al. We talked about the points leaders up toward the front and what could happen, but all these guys throughout the field are fighting for those final positions in the overall standings, Al. So it's nervous time for these guys. They're looking for a good result.
It's championship night here in GT2. We're about to go green. Green flag. Monroy, a little bit of a slow start. Moses had a great run there. Great start off the line. But Parsons looks like he's going to lead the way through Eau Rouge and up into Lacombe with Prieto right hot on his heels. Moses up to 4th, gets ahead of Tiago Canola. And
boy, Andres is going to want to make this pass.
He's going to want to make it stick for sure. Going in hot. Ooh, gets into the side of his teammate. Ooh, but hangs on to it.
Andres had to try that desperate maneuver. He knew what was at stake. If he wanted a chance to win this thing, he felt like he had to go for it there, Al.
Oh, it looks like Monroy had a bit of a lag. Tiago's gone off. Chris Moses jumps ahead of Monroy after that little whoop. You have to keep an eye on that. That was a tough part of the track to lock up on. We have Alex White and David Paul on board with Paul.
Yeah, indeed, and Mike Monahan, of course, right on Paul's bumper. He could really be the wrench in this monkey.
Certainly can, but David Poole is not going to want to lose sight of Alex White. Alex White's well, we've seen has been tremendously quick, but has faded oftentimes late in stints. We saw some of that last week. Heading through Blanchimont for the first time.
I have a quick update, Al. David Rowley of MRL6 has had trouble off the start. He is well behind this field with John Houston currently running 22nd, though out of the point.
Kurt Chandler up to P9. Up ahead of Hamilton. Running at 10th. Jack Ivey moves up one spot to P14. This is always interesting. The first run through a Rouge and Anga. Ooh, Dale Poole.
Boy, that is always a nervy time. You know those tires are cold. You're running close to the guys in front because you just started the race. It is a nervy time. Got to be careful.
Yeah, you mentioned Rally. He's fallen back to 28. Got some damage to the front of that Aston Collins. 29th. Ooh, Gup Douglas with some heavy damage to the front of that BMW. Not sure what happened to him. And Triana. Caldani's in without a rear wing. So some action near the back. So Parsons starting to check out here. Andre's trying to hang on to the back, but Parsons starting to stretch that lead slightly. David Poole remains in 7th. Mikey Monahan, as you mentioned, running in 8th. David Poole. David Poole managing to gap Mikey a little bit, so taking some of that pressure
Curtis
on.
Chandler has made it up to 10th, so now running in the top 10, Curtis Chandler. Another quick update, Tiago Canola has had trouble at the beginning of this race. I don't know if it was that lag we saw from Juan Monroy, but Tiago Canola now back in 17th.
Yeah, I think that lag by Monroy caught him off guard, sent him off into the weeds.
Well, I'm watching that David Poole, Alex White battle. You know, David Poole has slipped a little bit off that bumper, but even if David Poole can't quite come away with this championship tonight, he is still going to want to finish ahead of Alex White for nothing else but bragging rights.
Mention Canola, you see him back there in 17th. He's got a little front end damage to that. Ooh, Kurt's off! And he's missing his rear clip. Not sure what happened to Kurt. Just caught the end of that. I don't know if he's aware, but he's gonna... Ooh, we got Jack Ivey off. Jack and Lou. Oh my goodness. That's not gonna go over well. Oh, we got some more. Oh, it looks like Kurt's... yeah, we got some real traffic jam here.
It's a marathon, boys, not a sprint.
Greatrix up to 22nd. Johnny Lugnut's after that incident with his boss, Jack Ivey, falls back to 23rd. I know Lugnuts and Ivy have a little gentlemanly bet there. Whoever finishes up ahead has to buy breakfast in the morning.
Nice.
I wonder if there's any stipulations when it comes to contact.
Yeah, maybe the price of the breakfast just goes up.
Yeah, maybe. Meanwhile, on board with David Poole, looking on the inside of Alex White.
That battle has tightened up quite a bit after Marty Eiran had some trouble. Alex, David, and Mike Monahan all kind of caught up and are fighting amongst each other.
Poole ran a little wide on the exit of Eau Rouge, but he looks like got a bit of a run on White. David Poole having a look on the inside.
I tell you one thing, David Poole does want to get past, but he is going to be very careful. He knows he's going to have quite an advantage when it comes to pit stops, so he just wants to keep it close for now and take advantage of a clear opportunity.
And at the same time, White, he could just let him go. He doesn't have to win this race.
Surely, however, yeah, we've seen Alex White in situations where he could let guys go before and just simply hasn't as well. So you're absolutely right, though, Al. Still very close battles all the way through this field, however. Brian Story and Simon Goodwin all the way back there are fighting over 20th. Is a close battle, and Rodrigo Triana right in front as well, so nice battle.
Mikey Monahan continues to hang on to this battle between White and Poole, not really letting these guys get away. Oh, will we have a look going to the bus stop? Nope, not better of it. Oh, David with gonna have a run on White going into the circus. Looks like White might let him pass. I see some lights flickering. Ooh, they make contact. Oh, and Poole gets by.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here going up Eau Rouge. That Aston is going to match the Porsche speed relatively easily.
Looks like Poole is getting through Eau Rouge much cleaner than White these last couple times by.
Yeah, he sure is. Really helps that Porsche speed down the straight, so nice job by David Poole on the setup through there.
So we'll keep an eye on Poole. Let's see if he's able to stretch his lead on White. White's still hanging on to the back of Poole as they go through Pouhon. Oh, with a bit of a slide on exit. White's still hanging on to the back. Let's approach Blanchimont.
Just keeping an eye on John Houston's progress up through the field here. He now runs 16th and has taken a points position at the moment. They're in 16th, involved in a battle with Gregory Myers, Jack Ivey, and Lou Mascarelli.
Fast lap of the race thus far. Eiran Parsons with a 2:18.4. Only man in the 18s.
Yeah, and a very solid lap here to start. And I can tell you right now that Eiran Parsons is not pushing particularly hard. He's just turning good laps, keeping things consistent at the beginning of this race, and keeping out of trouble.
Meanwhile, up front, Parsons continues to lead this race with Andres Prieto lingering not too far back. Gap's about 3 seconds, 3.5 seconds. Chris Moses running in P3. Chris Moses was really liking his chances going into tonight's race. He felt he had like a good shot at winning this race tonight.
Yeah, well, you know, he's not in bad position, really, considering the overall speed we know Andres has got. And Juan Monroy has continued to kind of slip back, a little surprising there. But, yeah, no doubt Chris Moses felt he had something for these guys. He's holding pace pretty well so far.
Monroy, as you mentioned, running currently in the 4th position. Marty Eiran 5th. And as we were watching earlier, David Poole and Alex White continue 6th and 7th. Looks like Poole's starting to gap White slightly. Ooh, Poole with a bit of a slide again. Mikey Monahan currently in 8th. Christian Hamilton running in P9. Christian having a good showing here tonight at Spa. Esteban Palacio, Mikey Monahan's teammate, currently in the top 10. And Jens Klempnauer just outside the top 10, running 11th. His teammate for the night, Tiago Canola, he's fallen back to 12th. Actually, it was as far back as 17th, and he's worked his way up to 12th. So Tiago on a bit of a charge here. Marco Conti having a solid run at 13th in the Audi. Kevin Miller running 14th. Kevin Miller. Great job tonight in that Jag. Wow. Let's hope he can keep that pace. Greg Myers currently in 15th. Trying to chase down Kevin. Watch Greg as he goes through Eau Rouge.
As you watch that, just a quick follow-up there. Kevin Miller and Brian Story both didn't have the opportunity to make the qualifying race. Both teammates, I don't think Kevin did, but anyway, Brian Story starting dead last now up to 19th. You'll get to him shortly. A nice run for Brian.
Jack Ivy's fallen back a couple spots, currently in the 16th position. He's up as high as 14th. But Jack having a great run. Our Thursday night broadcaster. Jack and, as we mentioned, Kurt. Those two do a great job on Thursday nights. Very thankful for that. Lou Mascarelli right out of the points in 17th. We pay points up to 16th, so Lou's one spot shy of scoring a point here tonight. Ooh, John Houston takes it wide. The exit of the no-name straight. Currently in 18th, so Houston. I thought you mentioned, Brad, that Houston was in the points at one point. Looks like he's fallen back a couple more.
Yeah, he's given up a couple positions since, but still hanging in there as best he can.
Brian Story, a 19th. Kevin Miller's teammate in the Jag. Right-hand drive. Rodrigo Triana and Simon Goodwin duking it out here for that 20th spot. Right along with Simon as he tries to get... Triana running a little wide there on exit. Let's follow these guys as they approach the bus stop and through Blanchimont. Triana in the 430 Ferrari. See if Simon has a look on the inside. Heavy on the brakes. No. close battles throughout this throughout this field here early on. Race is
Yeah, indeed there are. And you know, I think some of those battles would be even closer without Juan Monroy having a bit of a lag there to start.
So this race is a 2-hour race. 48 laps maximum. Still a lot of time left in this one. Johnny Lugnuts in the Z4 BMW running 22nd. Rally has worked his way up to 23rd. John Solberger running at 24th. Great Tricks 25th. Newcomer Dan Collins currently 26th in that Mercedes. Jared Keane running 27th. I'm surprised by Jared Keane, seeing him this far back.
Not where he'd like to be, certainly. Jared may not have had much practice during the week. I haven't seen him around too much.
Drew Litkia back at 28th. Felipe Triana, he had an incident early, he had to get serviced. He's back at 29th. Jesse Caldani as well. He lost a rear wing. He's back at 30th, but still at it here. Kurt Chandler back at 31st. He was running up to 9th. And Gup Douglas back at 32nd. Kenny Mervin 33rd. And that's how they run.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to Kevin Savoy there, 34th, excuse me, and dead last, but it looks like he has parked it, unfortunately.
Oh, that's right, Kevin Savoy. Missed what happened to him, but
Ooh, Juan Monroy slipped back. Pool has gotten by for the 5th position. It actually has been, as you were doing your rundown, in Marty, you were in for 4th.
yeah, David continuing his steady progress here. He is, well, he won the season finale last season, I believe. This is the last season of the season before. Him and Chris Moses had a great battle.
Well, it's certainly going to be a tough task for the win here tonight, but you know what? The further you advance, the quote-unquote, the luckier you can get. You know, if you're there in 3rd or 2nd position, it doesn't take too much to get a little luck, have the guys in front of you go off or what have you. You know, he's doing what he needs to do so far.
On board now with Alex White as he's battling Juan Monroy for that 6th spot.
Yeah, Juan just really off the pace here in this opening stint. Not sure what that's all about, but in any event, finds himself back in 6th place and under fire.
Well, I was mistaken. Marty Eiran won last season's race in the Aston Martin.
Oh, quick update, Al. Drew Lidke has parked it. Drew Lidke out of this race. Didn't catch what happened.
Drew Lidke out. Sad to see it go out like that, Drew. I'll tell you what, watching White going through Eau Rouge, it always makes me cringe a little bit. He always seems like he's on the edge. Poole making the move on Eiran at the end of the Kemmel and gets it done. So David Poole up to P4.
He really has that car flying up a route. That Porsche should not be that good down the straight. The only way you can accomplish that is to carry a ton of speed up a route.
He's definitely getting it done, and he's already starting to gap Marty. Marty may be struggling a bit here late in this stint.
Yeah, it should be noted Marty Eiran carrying some weight there, 30 kilograms here tonight as well, may not be helping him out.
So, 48 laps. We expect these guys to pit in around lap 16. It's going to end on laps. Conditions, actually, the ambient temperatures dropped a bit. Track temp's now 75 degree, 58 degree ambient, so might be helping
yeah,
some.
cold day out there in Belgium.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, those Pirellis on that Ford GT that Andres and Juan are driving, they tend to prefer the heat. So I wonder if they're struggling a bit in these cool temps.
Well, it has to be said, Eiran Parsons, of course, also on the Pirellis. However, the Lambo a little bit more suited to some of the sections on this track, be it cold or not. I do have to say, though, that Andres Prieto really is not doing such a bad job there in second place. He has fallen 6 seconds off at Eiran's first place there. However, he's keeping it relatively close. I think Eiran, he's pretty fast around here, as he's showing in his qualifying session. So Andres Prieto is still in a pretty good spot. David, big lurch up a route. Really actually allowed Marty to have a run.
Yeah, we just picked up on that. So Marty going to have a look on the outside going into Lacombe. At the end of the Kemmel, not going to get it done though. Great spot to make a pass if you can get it done. We've seen a lot of bold attempts there in the past, but a lot of great passes also. Oh, you mentioned Kevin Savoy exiting early here tonight. Let's take a look back at a highlight of Savoy's season for him personally is his pass on Parsons for that back at Misano bunch of races ago.
Yeah, that Misano race, a great race, great thriller for Kevin.
Yeah, this race contested at night in Misano. This pass on Parsons for at the time was that second spot, but he had to stick it in there. He had a little bit of contact and some lap cars up ahead, but muscled his way through to get that pass done, and that was a great job. Kevin ultimately going on to win that race, passing Andres Prieto on the last lap for the win.
Yeah, a thrilling race where Andres took a gamble on some tires, almost paid off for him, but Kevin got it done, and ultimately I'd say that was a pretty fair pass on Eiran Parsons. Enough give and take for the two where there wasn't too many ruffled feathers there. Great job, Kevin. Great race.
Yeah, it definitely could have been a lot worse considering the lap cars that were involved, but he got it done. Take a look further back. We got a battle here between Canola, Hamilton. Canola has now moved up to P11, gotten by Jens Klepnauer, and is now trying to chase down Christian Hamilton, who's currently in 10th, and Palacio in the 9th spot.
Yeah, you got to think Tiago's going to have speed on those guys, so there seems to be no question he'll have a look. Meanwhile, a quick update, Juan Monroy is starting to put some heat on Marty Eiran for that 5th position.
Canola really starting to put the pressure on. Hamilton going to have a look on the inside. Oh, and he gets it done. Wow, great pass by Canola. So Canola moves up to P10. And already starting to check out. And he's got Palacio in his sights, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Gotta hand it to Jens as well. Jens doing a great job also in that McLaren, currently in P12.
Yeah, no question. Of course, Thiago Canola is a fill-in driver this race. We haven't seen him around this season. Last year's GT2 championship winner, of course. So it's great to see Thiago in a ride here in our last feature race of season 19.
Yeah, Thiago, two-time champion here at NAGP. Certainly talented for sure. Greg Meyer is currently at 14th. Kind of on his lonesome at the moment. He's got nobody ahead, nobody behind. He's got a lap car behind him. I believe that's Jaime Moore. Jack Ivey still running in the points, 15th. Lou Mascarelli's caught up to him, currently in 16th. Right along with Lou here as he tries to reel in Jack.
Yeah, that battle's been going on pretty much since the drop of the green flag. Brian Story was in the mix there as well, but he has since fallen off that battle a little bit.
Ooh!
While you watch that battle, I'm watching.
Jaime Moore is locked up, and well, you guys, I don't know if he's disconnected or what, but Lou got a piece of him, but luckily for Lou, he's all right.
Indeed. Well, you watch that battle, I can tell you Juan Monroy has gotten past Marty Eiran at Rivage for the 5th position.
So Monroy getting it done. Finding pace late.
Yeah, I don't know if it's so much him finding pace or Marty Eiran slipping off of a little bit of the pace. I think it's the latter, actually. I think Marty is starting to struggle with some front grip.
Looking around for Kevin Miller, and I don't see him. Brian Story's moved up to 17th, but Story and Triana.
Kevin Miller, 25th.
Not sure what happened to Miller. That's unfortunate. Was in the points. Triana, meanwhile, trying to reel in Brian Story as these guys battle for that 17th spot. Rodrigo, Felipe, and Jaime Moore, all three of those guys new to GT2 this season here at NAGP. It's great to have. All from Colombia.
The Columbia contingent.
They're strong here at NAGP. And several of Monroy. Of course, Andre, the original Colombian.
That'd be the OC, the instead of the OG, I take it.
I guess, yeah. And Mike Ratrick's having a nice run here up to 19th. Mike Ratrick's having some technical issues, which caused some problems for him for a bunch of races, but it looks like he might have gotten it sorted out. So he's running pretty good here at 19th.
Yeah, so far so good, and he does have some damage on that Mustang. No doubt that's holding him back a little bit. I think he could have been running even a little stronger without that damage, that aero damage.
David Rowley currently P20. Dan Collins and Dan Collins running 21st. Looks like Johnny Lugnuts might be a lap down. Simon Goodwin's back to 22nd.
John Houston has parked it out.
Houston, I was just going to say, I don't see Houston, and he's out of the race. Unbelievable.
Wow, not sure what happened there.
So we're going to have to crunch the numbers, find out what happens here in the team championship. Right now, they're still looking good, however. But if Rally manages to...
certainly Aaron Parsons.
Go ahead.
Yeah, certainly Aaron Parsons there in the catbird seat. If he can manage to hold on to those upper positions, that'll certainly go a long way. But John Houston going out isn't going to help.
Johnny Lugnuts trying to chase down Dan Collins for that 21st spot. Ooh, Collins runs it a little wide. And that's going to give Johnny the spot. The old broadcaster's curse, Dan. You get bit.
Yeah, Dan Collins did fall back to 23rd position there.
On board with Dan. Looks like Simon got past, so... Dan back on it.
David Poole's had a problem now. David Poole's out of the race. He has parked it.
Oh, he is out of the race. Unbelievable. Well, that's it.
Stunning turn of events.
Unreal. So, apologize. Running down the order here. Missed what happened. But David Poole is out.
I don't think David Poole had anybody around him. I think he was just trying to push as much as he could, and just lost it. I believe up a route. Can't confirm it. I just barely caught the when he escaped there.
Unbelievable.
Well, it was a great run for David Poole. Rich Roman there having could never quite break through. Had so many places in the championship. Finally did break through, and David Poole right now on that course, always in contention. He keeps it up. He is in line for one of these championships in the near future. So it was a good season, David. Tough luck here tonight, buddy, but we'll see you back next time.
Well, I think you're exactly right. He's definitely got the pace to get it done. He's just some bad luck, couple bad races. That's what did it. And as you mentioned, Roman as well. He suffered. He had that bug for a while. Couldn't quite break through to win that title. Finally did. So that's White.
It takes.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Al. It really takes a great degree of skill and consistency around here, but like any high-level form of motorsports out there you see on TV, it takes a bit of luck too. So it takes a combination of to get it done, and David Poole will break through. Alex White has a moment now.
He has a big moment, as you were talking. White loops it through the bus stop and almost nosed it into the fence, but he's back at it here. Oh, and Ivy's missing a front clip as he's pulling it into the pit, so drama all around. But White, I'm sure he's...
Yeah, and all that...
Go ahead.
All that, well, pit stops are going on as well. We are having some pit stop rotation.
So White's still hanging on to that 7th spot, but at this point, the championship's his. Regardless of what happens, but they still are fighting for that. He's fighting for that team championship, so we'll have to check and see where Rally is.
Yeah, Rally has come in, and I believe has completed a pit stop as well, running in 22nd at the moment.
Simon Goodwin pulls it in. So you're right, Rally currently in P22. Ooh, Kurt. Okay, doing some wall sampling.
Aaron Parsons in the pit from the lead.
Ooh, Andre, heavy on the brakes into the pit. Chris Moses. Alexa, ooh, no, I'm sorry. I thought he was going to stay up. Moses into the pit lane.
Well, I had the chance to talk with Andres Prieto a little bit, and he felt like he might have a superior strategy, maybe able to make up some time on pit stops to Aaron Parsons. We'll see how that shakes out.
Monroy into the pits.
Full pit lane
Marty into the pits. Yeah, everybody's coming in. Alex White, Mikey Monahan, Esteban Palacio, Tiago Canola. They're all coming in.
And the heck of a battle going on between those guys. You can see them all stacked up there in pit lane. That's just how they were running out there on track. So important pit stops for these guys.
Parsons is away. Andre, we'll have to keep an eye on him. Oh, he's just getting on the jacks now. This is a gigantic pit lane, so I get the feeling Parsons is going to be able to get past.
I would think so. He had a good 10 seconds coming into the pit lane, so we'll see how that shakes up when this rotation gets through here.
Andres is away. Moses with a long stop. He's down, he's away as well. Monroy pitted in from the 4th spot, I believe. Have to see where him and Marty rejoin. Marty's a down and away, so these guys nose to tail going in, nose to tail coming out.
You know, I'm just was keeping an eye there on Marty's progress, or lack of progress there through the field, and I wonder if Marty Eiran is not going to have some problems this race. The guys around him are pretty quick. I think he could end up losing some positions if he's not really careful and consistent out there over the course of this next stint.
Well, before we go any further, Brian Story is leading the race, so I believe this is the first race Brian has led here at NHEP, so you gotta tip your cap to this guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Good job, Brian.
He's got Aaron Parsons all over his tailpipe, however.
He'll be a tough guy to hold off. So taking a look at timing and scoring, I can see Andres Prieto actually did manage to pick up about 4 seconds on that pit stop rotation. Good 3 seconds anyway.
So Parsons gets by.
Short-lived moment in the spotlight there, Brian, but well done nonetheless.
Absolutely. See if Brian elects to pit. He does.
Rodrigo Trana comes in from the 4th position. Got some damage to the front of that Ferrari. I'm sure that they'll be looking forward to getting that fixed up.
Chris Moses is going to take back over that 3rd spot.
Boy, Alex White is the result of that spin, and don't know if he had any other problems coming into the pits, but Alex White finds himself back there in 11th, and I think the majority of the guys in front of him have made their pit stop. Brian Story and Rodrigo Triana, the only 2 spots he'll pick up.
Well, Esteban Palacio got out ahead of his teammate, I believe, and now leads currently in 8th. So 7th. So Esteban with a great pit stop and has moved up to P5.
Marty,
wow.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice job. Marty Eiran, however, has come back into the pits, Al.
So Marty, possibly a stop and go.
Yeah, you got to think.
Might be a 10-second stop and go. We'll take a look.
I was worried about his on-track pace, but this is going to hurt him way more than that. Such a long pit lane here at the Spa. I have been bitten by entering too fast as well.
He's away. So, yep. So that's going to push him back to 15th, 17th now. So,
boy, that's a bad feeling.
That is just, it just sucks the life out of you when that happens. Well, tough break for Marty there, but you know what? He had had a couple nice runs here this season, and it was one of the, trying to figure out which BMW that is. Not sure. Oh, I believe that's Kenny Marvin. Slow. Marty with a couple nice runs this season. Let's take a look back at Road America. Him and Alex White having some great battles there. These guys are going back and forth, nose to tail, for much of the race. Marty tried that move a couple times going into that the end of that back straight there. I forget the name of the corner, but finally the end of that, Marty looped it. But that was a great battle nonetheless.
Was a great battle, of course. Teammate Ian Jolicoeur, Marty's teammate Ian Jolicoeur, went on to win that Road Atlanta race. So it was a pretty good team effort all the way around.
So Johnny Lucknott's now up to 19th. Rodrigo Triana comes out in 20th after the pit stops. Trying to see where Brian Story came out after leading. So Brian Story rejoins in 17th after his pit stop. Yeah, Solberger back in 18th. A little surprised to see Solberger back there. I think he was caught up in an incident there through Lacombe. A few guys went off, so I think he might have got caught out there. Finds himself back in 18th. Ooh, Marvin! Oh, he hung on to it unbelievably. Wow.
Quick hands there by Swervin' Mervin.
Gup Douglas back in 27th. That's a tough night for Gup. Had that damage early in this race, losing his front clip. Chris Moses, his teammate, Precision Motor Racing. Tough night for Gup.
Well, just a quick update here. It looks like Thiago Canola has just got past Esteban Palacio for the 5th position there at the bus stop. Alex White right on the bumper of these two as well, looking to take advantage.
I wonder what happened to Mikey Monahan. He was right behind his teammate. Mikey's got some heavy damage to the front of that Audi, so it looks like... Oh, and Mikey's off. Oh, and he noses it into the fence. Hang it. Oh, looks like he's Mikey having some trouble getting that car back on track, and he's away, but he's fallen back to 11th. So that's
yeah, and that's certainly not going to help the front end damage at all. I tell you, I think some of these guys might be caught out a little bit by the temperatures, just not able to get the kind of heat they'd like into those front tires.
Speaking of that temps, well, Sabian's still around 50. Track temp, 57 degrees. Ooh, Alex White looks like he's disconnected. He's done.
No, boy.
So Alex White.
Well, that's not the way you want to finish things off.
No, certainly not. But
boy, you know, we've seen this. We have had some disconnects. We've also had some contact rather for some DNFs out here. You know, we've seen this occasionally from this GT2 crowd having some attrition over the course of these races, which is unfortunate. You know.
So, the way things stand, Parsons with 130 points, Alex White with a 155. Parsons wins and leads the most laps. That'll be 25 total points. That means we'll have a tie. However, White has won more races this season than Parsons has, so that championship would go to Alex White.
Boy, and how about those points lost during last week's qualifying race there by Eiran Parsons out?
Yeah, I mean, he lost it through a Rouge. I mean, that you know, the qualifying races that during Super Bowl, guys tend to do take some risks they don't normally do during a normal race, but looking back, not sure if it was just, you know, a mistake or if he was just trying to push too hard. But, you know, those are points he wish he would have had right now.
Boy, certainly. And, you know, David Poole was, I don't know if he would have had a chance to try to make the podium here and maybe get lucky with a couple guys going off in front, but we talked about that luck, and well, you got to have some of it. And we think Alex White is still in line for this deal, but it looks like it might turn out really close in this championship after all.
Well, as far as the team championship goes, if it finishes the way it is now, T-Brock Dambam will certainly secure it. However, Rally is currently in 13th.
Yep.
And if something should happen to Parsons, that team championship could revert to MRL 6, but
yeah, it certainly could. David Rowley, as they finish now, of course, has garnered 3 championship points toward that classification. So, yeah, if Eiran goes out, then, well, there you go. That's all they'll need.
So we're just about 50 minutes into this race. Just about at the halfway point. Currently working lap.
Yeah, and I'm taking
22. Sorry, go ahead, Brad.
No, I'm sorry, Al. I was just taking a look at our Eiran Parsons and Andres Prieto there. Andres, of course, still in second place. He had gained some time on Eiran Parsons during the pit stop and actually gained a little bit of time out on track as well. Andres Prieto right now not giving up anything to Eiran Parsons. We'll see if that holds up over the course of this next stint.
Well, Alex White, unfortunately, as we saw, disconnected from the race. It looks like he locked up and he just lost his connection. But let's take a look back at White, his dominating win at Paul Ricard. A race he said he didn't even have to push. It was just, he pretty much checked out from the get-go here, and actually the real battle in this one was between Parsons and Andres Prieto, who started from the back of this race and wound up in second and got passed late by Parsons to finish third. That was a tremendous job by Andres starting from the back in that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Andres taking a chance with his tires in that race as well, double spinning those tires to very good effect from the back of the race, and that was a humdinger of a battle out there. Alex White that win at Paul Ricard, but it was overall a fantastic race with other exciting moments.
And this is the pass Parsons made on Andre late in this one, late in that Paul Ricard race. I believe it was a lap or 2 laps ago, and Parsons made it stick. These guys were going back and forth much of this second stint. Parsons just couldn't get close enough. As you see here, he was just unable to get close enough to make the pass. Andre made a mistake. Car ran wide. Parsons managed to get by. So that was a great race. Yeah,
indeed it was. And my memory of that race is probably the Chris Moses total debacle there on the first corner, just completely losing it over the bumps and taking that BMW out of contention.
Yeah, you know what? I was watching that replay earlier today, and just he just hit a part of the track that unsettled the car, and it just exploded. Sent them off track into the wall, sustained heavy damage, got it fixed, but wasn't able to get back into the points, finished without scoring anything. So that's literally when the wheels fell off for Moses in the championship.
Yeah, that's right. Well, yeah, a great moment there at Paul Ricard, and still a few here to go, I think, from Spa, as I'm currently watching Thiago Canola try to hunt down Esteban Lacio for the 5th position. So Thiago having some problems there early in this race, all the way back to 17th, now finds himself battling for 5th.
And he's got a run on Palacio here, heading up the Kemmel Straight to Lacombe. Just not close enough to have a look. That's the same part of the track where Thiago made that pass on Hamilton. Hamilton, looks like Hamilton's running in the 7th spot. So Hamilton's got
great
pretty
run
good
for Christian.
Yeah, he's got some good pace, hanging on to these guys. He's got his own issues here, dealing with Jens Klepnauer behind him.
Yeah, and speaking of Christian Hamilton and that good fight that you're watching, it's interesting. We haven't mentioned Rich Roman, who doesn't seem to be on the grid here tonight. Didn't have any indication he wouldn't make this race, but in any event, Rich not here tonight.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Rich. Rich took over the ride from David Canavan after Canavan unable to continue in GT2. Rich did a tremendous job in that Sunred, winning at Cheka. Ooh, these guys really close. Canola having a look at the outside of going into the bus stop. Palacio had a bit of a moment through Blanchard, allowed Canola to get right up tight. Close battle.
Yeah, as you watch that, Jens Klumpner is going for the position on Christian into Lasource.
Ooh, and looks like he gets it done. I think Christian might have overcooked it a little bit, watching his rear view mirror.
Yeah, indeed, Al definitely overcooked it.
Canola was unable to get close to Palacio in that up the Kemmel Straight. Ooh, really close going into the La Source. That Audi's got a lot of legs. Really motor down the straights.
It does, and I think over It does, and I think both cars are actually pretty evenly matched overall over the course of a whole lap. Tiago Canola putting his McLaren a little bit better use at the moment, however, but a good fight. Yeah, while we watch that battle, I can tell you that Andres Prieto still has not given up anything to Eiran Parsons over the since those pit stops. So that gap is holding almost exactly the same. If Andres can manage to pick up some more time on this next stint, pit stop rotation, or if Eiran has a little bobble, Andres can find himself right back in this.
On board with Esteban. Drew Blanchimont. Ooh. Tiago with a bit of wheel spin exiting the bus stop, which is easy to do.
Well, it looks like Dan Collins has had to park it here, Al, as well as Rodrigo Triana, I believe, also. So the attrition continues here at Spa.
Well, it's a marathon for these guys. Tiago with a bit of a bobble through Eau Rouge. But these guys continue to go at it. Meanwhile, Klepnauer is starting to reel in his teammate for the night, Tiago. As once he's gotten by Hamilton, he's left Hamilton in the dust. Put some time between him and Christian, and now he's setting his sights on Tiago.
Yeah, Jens really showing some nice pace here in the middle of the second stint here. I think maybe has worked into the race and got settled down and really found a great rhythm. Yeah, I'm watching that battle toward the front. Andres Prieto actually has started to make very small inroads on Eiran Parsons, picking up a tenth or two here or there every now and then. So it's still hanging right there.
Alex White, do you copy?
Yeah, hello.
Welcome to the broadcast. Unfortunate end tonight for you, but luckily for you, David Poole had his own problems, and well, you're guaranteed the championship. Congratulations. And
Thank you.
what happened? You just have a disconnect, or?
Well, I was going along straight after Eau Rouge, and my screen went completely blank, and for some reason my PS3 had turned on, which means that takes over the TV. So obviously somebody upstairs has pressed the controller for it somewhere. So probably a good idea to turn it off next season.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was a great run for you this season, Alex, and congratulations on that. It turns out, though, as they run this, may turn out to be a pretty close championship battle if Eiran Parsons does manage to complete this win. I guess it'll come down only to the advantage that you have in wins.
Yeah. That's all.
Well, how was the
yeah.
how are the conditions out there tonight? I know it was pretty cool, pretty cold temperatures, but how was your car behaving out there?
The car was fine. My setup that I had last week in the qualifying race was awful. So I think it was completely stable, but it was I was going nowhere quickly. So I spent a few nights this week just playing around with it for a while and ended up something that was a lot better. And I was using that and ended up with around about 17 wear at the end of the stint, so for the second stint I was thinking I can push a bit harder. So I started to push a bit and catch Esteban and Tiago. Then everything went black.
Well, you had a good battle early on with David Poole. He looked like he had some pretty good pace on you.
Yeah, I was trying to keep him behind me, but that didn't really work. But it's a bit annoying that I disconnected, because where Dav is just now and where I was, I think we'd have enough for the team championship, or we would have had enough for the team championship, so that's pretty much out the window, annoyingly.
Well, it's a long race. There's still plenty of time left here, so anything can happen. So that opportunity is still there, as long as Rally can stay in this one. But
yeah, I don't think Ez is going to crash though. Ez doesn't seem like he's going to crash this week.
Probably not, but nonetheless, it's still an opportunity nonetheless. But hey, looking back at this season, it's your first NAGP title, and obviously, big congratulations for that. What would you say was your most gratifying win this past season that you felt like you earned, or you had to work really hard at?
The one I'm most proud of is Paul Ricard. Like, the whole race, I was much better than even I thought I could be, quite honestly. Then I just sat behind Greg for the second half, not laughing at him. Greg, I think, is on the way to winning the prize for the most laps.
Yeah, competition index, that's right.
Yeah. Which other one did I have? I was also surprised at winning at Valolinga, so I was as well.
Well, it was an impressive season. You showed some tremendous pace, especially in qualifying. You really did a number on some of these guys. Had a lot of these races throwing that thing on pole by a lot. So congratulations again on that, on your first championship, and well deserved, well earned.
Thank you. Although at Misano and Thruxton, I did think I was on a one-way track to throwing my championship chances away. So I did, after crashing at Misano and hammering the barriers at Thruxton. So yeah, thank you very much for doing a broadcast and running the season. It's an awesome website and I really do enjoy it.
Yep, well, congratulations, Alex, and we'll see you next season.
Of course.
Thank you, Alex. Appreciate it. Good luck next season.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it.
Yeah, indeed. Alex was clearly the best, and I tell you, he had a weight ballast from finishing so well in those races that he did, garnering all those points, but he still managed to put in great drives when he had that weight, and it's the reason why he's coming home with this season 19 championship.
Well, back to the action here. Jack Ivy currently in 15th. Liquid Lou has gotten past Ivy. So Lou having a great run here. Lou, we mentioned in the past, Lou does very well here at Spa. And this is a track he's got figured out. So he's running well in the points as we run right now. And Jack Ivy, you got to give Jack a lot of credit. Jack has come a long way from finishing near the back every race to now running in the points midway through the feature race at Spa.
Yeah, indeed, Al. In fact, Jack Ivy really has been in some pretty good positions here the second half of this season. He hasn't cashed in on a lot of those results where he could have finished, having problems very late in the race. But the second half of the season, Jack has really turned it on and may frankly be turning a corner to getting some of these consistent results.
Yeah, so good on Jack. Nice run here tonight. Let's hope he can finish where he is. And Brian Story's now worked his way up into the points, up to 16th. He's got John Solberger on his tail. Solberger, ooh, it looks like Solberger's going to have a run. Story got a little dicey going through Eau Rouge, and that opened the door for Solberger to take that final points paying position. Nice pass by John.
Yeah, indeed. Well, Alex talked a little bit about that championship position and Eiran out front and all that stuff. You know, Andres actually has picked up some time on Eiran Parsons. I'm not sure what the cause for that is. Perhaps contact with his teammate Juan Monroy was holding them back, a little bit of aero damage in that first stint. But in any event, Andres Prieto is continuing to make small gains into Eiran Parsons. So, this race win may not yet be decided, and if they get to battling, you never know about that team classification as well.
So the gap between 1 and 2 is 6 seconds, just over. But Eiran in command so far here tonight at Spa. As you mentioned, Andre running in that second spot. Chris Moses back in third, so Chris is about 26 seconds back of Prieto. He's got some lap traffic up ahead. They let him by, but Chris, pretty quiet race.
And you know, it has been a relatively quiet race, but also after that pit stop rotation, Chris Moses has held his serve also relative to the leaders in front as well. So Chris Moses also finding a little pace relative to what he had in the first stint.
So Monroy still battling here, running in the 4th spot. So this would be a good finish for Team Columbia should they finish where they are. This Palacio-Canola battle continues to rage on. Got to give credit to Palacio. Doing a great job maintaining that spot.
Yeah, it's been Tiago that has actually made the small mistakes and slipped off the bumper of Esteban here and there, which has allowed Esteban some breathing room, and continues in that 5th spot.
This is what makes a 2 or a 3 hour race go by very quickly, is when you got someone on your tailpipe for most of the race, when neither of you are making mistakes really, and it's just tight racing the whole time. It's pretty amazing how I always find it amazing how you know, after 3 hours you could still be so close. It's just.
Yeah, and I think, like I say, we would be seeing quite a few more close battles out there if a few more of these guys hadn't thrown it off track. Speaking of time going by pretty quickly, I think it should be going by pretty quickly for David Rowley and Greg Myers, fighting tooth and nail here over the last 6 or 7 laps for that 11th position.
Currently working lap 30.
Yeah, and I think we have had somebody blink here on our second pit stop rotation. Marco Conti is into the pit.
So this race is scheduled for 48 laps. So another couple laps here to go before we start seeing guys start diving in. I think this pass, I mean, Esteban is pretty good in the pit lane, so it's going to be, but we know what Tiago can do, so Tiago may make this move in the pit lane if he can't get by him on track.
Yeah, indeed. I have to give props to Esteban. Hopefully that's not the broadcaster's curse, as we see him fighting pretty tight right here, but he has managed to hold off a charging Tiago for quite a few laps.
So meanwhile, Jens Klempnauer has really gapped himself over Christian after getting by a few laps back. Christian continues to run in the 8th spot. Mikey Monahan. Mikey's had a tough second stint here. He's made contact with the wall a couple times, and saw him take it off track another time. Greg Myers is now lurking not too far behind in 10th. Rally right behind him in 11th, as we mentioned. Greg Myers, should he finish on the lead lap here, he will take home that competition index prize. That's one he was shooting for at the start of the season, and it's right in his grasp. You know what, let's take a look at Greg earlier this season at Monza. This great pass he put on Johnny Lugnuts at Monza in the wet. He's got coming out of Parabolica. He gets a run on Johnny with David Poole right on his tailpipe. This was the first race of the season, a 2-hour feature race in flooded conditions here. You see Greg going into 1 with a tremendous pass on Johnny.
Yeah, great pass there. Of course, David Canavan not able to complete the rest of this season. Rich Roman filled in for his spot. Took that win at Monza in what was really a humdinger of a race with good battles up toward the front. But Gregory Myers coming home in, oh shoot, what was that? 7th, 6th place?
Yeah, I believe you're right. Well, Eiran Parsons continues to lead this race. We mentioned John Houston, who failed to. He's out of the race. Not sure what happened to him, quite honestly, but he is out. But John Houston putting in, doing a relatively good job for T-Brock Bam this past season, scoring some well-earned points, especially at Cheka, where he finished 2nd. Houston's best finish of the season.
Yeah, that's certainly the highlight of my season 19. Sorry, Alan, it has to be said, I think. Go ahead there, Al.
No, I was just going to say the best finish of his career, actually, his NAGP racing career. He passes Alex White here. This was also treacherous conditions. Alex White running out of gas right before the start-finish line and takes that 2nd spot away right at the checkered flag, right at the line. It was a tremendous result for Houston.
Yeah, great result and a memorable race, really all the way around with those conditions and all the retirements. We had some retirements here tonight, but boy, we really had some retirements out there, and yeah, certainly the highlight for me. And it has to be said that that result is the reason why ultimately TBROK Dan Bam is in line for this season 19 championship.
Absolutely, as Aaron runs it way wide through Blanchimont, but yeah, you're certainly right. Well, that race at Cheka was quite possibly a record in terms of retirements. That was like nothing we've ever seen. As Parsons pulls it into the pit lane for his final stop, he better check it up. Hard on the brakes.
Yeah, I think most of these guys will be coming in here this lap or the next. Andres Prieto did just those last 3 or 4 laps slip off the pace of Eiran Parsons. So Eiran Parsons comes in with an 8.5 second lead, and Andre is going to have to do a bit more work out there if he wants a shot at this win.
Chris Moses bringing it into the pit lane. So everybody's diving in. Monroy should be next. And Monroy into the pits.
Meanwhile, I just wanted to check in on the Esteban-Tiago battle, and their positions remain the same, Al.
We just picked up on them, you're right.
What a battle.
you know, you really have to give these guys a lot of credit to race this hard for this long and this clean as they both dive into the pit lane. Well, we'll have to keep an eye on this.
Yeah, big props to these two guys. This is not the easiest track to drive on the limit on lap after lap, particularly if you're the guy behind. Some of the spots around here, of course, Rouge and Pool Hall and some of these other spots. Very difficult to follow a guy close through those spots.
Hey, I'll tell you what, Andres is away with a pretty good stop. We'll see what that gap is once they come back on track. It's now... Well, Andres made up a little bit of time. The lead is now about 6 seconds, so...
Yeah, he really gave up good almost 3 seconds there just in the last couple laps of that stint. So I think the tires just finally caught up with him. Maybe he'll be able to adjust for that a little bit, but he's going to have to drive even better this last stint. He's going to have to be absolutely at the top of his game here. Still, those positions are quite close, though, Al.
Yeah, Preto can certainly start to reel him in here if he starts... he's got some clear track ahead of him. If he can throw down some quick laps, he can close that gap relatively quickly. Andres Preto's best lap is a 2:18.479, so just 2/100ths of a second off Parsons' fast lap. So Andres has definitely got it in him to make up some time. Those two guys, the only ones in the 18s.
Looks like Esteban Palacio has beat Thiago Canola out of the pits by about a second or so.
Unbelievable. He just picked up on that. I'll throw Brian Story. It looks like he's going to get in the mix between these guys. Oh, Story gets by. He's out there in 5th. So, that's got to be frustrating for Canola.
Yeah, well, sometimes, you know, these guys obviously not in line for the championship. Thiago hasn't run a lot of races. Sometimes, you know, it could be just as fun having those great battles out there on track, even if you don't necessarily pick up the position. And I suspect those guys are having some fun dicing like that.
Well, Marty Urin, after his stop and go, he's done with his pit stop. He comes out in 11th. So Marty's made up some positions after that unfortunate penalty. Comes out right ahead of Mikey Monahan. Mike's falling back a little bit. He's got Greg Myers all over him. These guys fight nose to tail. Let's keep an eye on these for a few laps.
Really tough second stint there for Mike Monahan. One that he would definitely like to have back after really fighting up there for a top 5 finish. Mike Monahan finds himself back.
Well, Mikey Monahan with the 2nd place finish at Istanbul. That was a great result for him. His best result of the season.
Yeah, it was really sharp, that race. Didn't hardly put a wheel wrong, Mike Monahan, and showed great pace. Couldn't quite match David Poole down the stretch, but he sure gave him a great run.
Yeah, David Poole's performance there was quite good, to say the least. He dominated that one, but Mikey Monahan, no slouch, and finishing on the 2nd spot of the podium, a huge accomplishment for him. Although that would not have been Mikey's first NAGP victory. I believe he won at Interlagos in GT1 in the... I want to say the McLaren. The McLaren. I think you're right, yeah.
It's kind of a question mark for me too, but I believe that's right. One of the first iterations of the McLaren. Yeah, that it was a great win, and you know, Mike he's either had pretty good results this season, or he simply hasn't had any results at all. So Mike Monahan finds himself actually tied for 16th in this championship. Could have been quite a bit better. These guys will be back next season, Mike Monahan, Esteban Palacio. I suspect that they're going to have a little something with these guys.
Always entertaining to watch both of them. I think Esteban, he's run into some bad luck. At the starts of some of these races, got caught up in a couple of incidents, hurt him pretty bad. But these two could definitely fight for a team championship, no doubt about it.
Yeah, well, and we have talked a little bit about it in the past here. This team and their lack of results relative to what they could have done, and the disconnects have also hurt them quite a bit. Esteban having quite a few of those this season.
Also worth mentioning, Marco Conti now running up to 10th. I believe you mentioned Marco pitted early.
Indeed, he was the first stop on this rotation.
So I'll have to see if Marco, as this race winds down, if he's going to have enough gas to make it to the end. Might be tight for him in that Audi.
Yeah, I'm just not sure, Al.
But Marco having a good run here tonight.
I'll give you a quick update. David Rowley, of course, was running up there in 12th before this pit stop rotation. However, he finds himself in 14th now.
That's a rally putting on a pretty good run here, running in the points after a miserable start. I think it was pretty as far back as 27th.
Yes.
So Lou and Jack, these two, I'll tell you what, they've maintained this gap for much of this race. Lou is, well, I believe Jack was leading Lou earlier on, but Lou got by, and well, they've been running 15th and 16th this whole night. Jack, I'm sorry, not really able to make up any ground on Lou, and they're just running, both looks like they're running identical lap times.
Yeah, and that Porsche of Jack Ivey actually looks kind of identical to how it did the first stint. I'm not sure if they repaired that damage or if he suffered a little bit more at some point.
Solberger back at 17th. Mugnuck's now up to 19th. Kurt Chandler still going at it, running at 19th. Kurt Chandler in his final race before he retires from NAGP. Personal, real-life things in the way, not going to allow him to participate next season or in future seasons. Let's see how long this retirement lasts for Kurt. Something tells me he'll be back, but you never know.
Yeah, but certainly hope to see him back, and thanks to Curtis again for those Thursday night broadcasts and all the work that he's done around NAGP in the past.
Yeah, also thanks to Kurt for filling in for me at Anderstorp this past season in GT1. Scored some points. Very happy about that. I was unable to attend that race, and Kurt volunteered. A little nervous. I was looking at Kurt's previous results at Anderstorp prior to him filling in, and I saw he drove a Lambo there, which is what we drive, and he blew it up. So I was a little wary of that, but he managed to bring it home in one piece. Kevin Miller back at 20th. Gup Douglas 21st. Jesse Caldani, haven't talked too much about Jesse tonight, but he's running here at 22nd. Jesse, I believe, is probably our youngest guy here. He's a pretty young kid, and I'll tell you what, the highlight for me for Jesse, no doubt, was probably, I believe it was Paul Ricard when he had a great battle with Rich Roman for several laps, and really did a phenomenal job out there.
Yeah, again, just didn't hardly put a wheel wrong that race for Jesse, and a real coming out. I think it could be said. Obviously, the potential is there, and with a little bit, with a full season under his belt, we've seen these guys in their second and third seasons that have shown the speed in the past to really turn it on, and I suspect that that's going to be the case over the next couple seasons for Jesse.
He's teammates with David Poole, and under Dave's tutelage, I think he'll just continue to improve. So we look forward to seeing Jesse in future seasons here at NAGP to see how he progresses.
Yeah, indeed. Looking forward to it. Meanwhile, Tiago Canola has thrown it off track, Al. I'm not sure. I believe that is Poole, and he retires from the race.
He's parked it. He is done. So Tiago out of the race. He's just about to pick up on that battle, and he's done.
Wow.
So that's going to give Esteban a sigh of relief.
You know, I'm not seeing Jens clip now on my timing and scoring now. Do you have them?
I do not see Jens on track.
Uh-oh.
So it looks like Jens is retired as well. Both McLarens out of the race.
Unbelievable.
So we started with 35. We got 21 left running here. Well, the attrition bug bites again.
Yeah, just shocking. I mean, it's a feature race. It's a 2-hour race. It's a double our normal race length, but still, you wouldn't think that'd be too much for these guys to be able to be able to time. So I don't know what's going on out there, but yeah, really unfortunate battle Esteban and Tiago we're having. Hey. We'll see Tiago sometime in the near future.
Well, we have a situation brewing here. Eiran Parsons is closing the gap on Greg Myers, who is leading the competition index. It's going to put him a lap down, and this is a long track.
Yeah, that's true. I have to be honest with you, I'm not too boned up on my competition index stats this season, so you'll have to run the numbers.
That's never a good thing if I'm in charge of running numbers. Hold on one second.
Better you than me, my friend. Yeah, so not sure what happened there to Jens Klempner after such a fabulous run that Jens was put together, but yeah, both those McLaren teammates seeming to have a problem here in the closing laps of this race. Just a couple, 3 laps after our final pit stop rotation here.
Well, David Poole was second. Greg Myers 377 total laps completed, and regardless of being left, I don't think David Poole was in second. Solberger, who's running, he's a lap down as well. And Palacio's on the lead lap, but this track is not 36 kilometers long, so I think Greg's in good shape.
Okay, well, tragedy averted there for him. Meanwhile, I'm taking a look at Andres. Still, as he did in after that first stint, continuing to close some ground there to Eiran Parsons. Now the gap well and truly within 5 seconds. So gaining a little bit of time, not quite enough yet, but obviously pushing as hard as he can.
Oh, I'm sorry. I see Jens now. He's actually in 5th spot. He has moved up to 5th, so I'm not sure what happened. He had a little lag out or something, but he's back in time.
Yeah, I have to tell you, Al, I've had problems with my timing and scoring here all night, so I'm a little lost from time to time.
But I'm trying to figure out... Well, you know what? I wonder if... well, Palacio's now back in 6th, and Jens has gone by him, so I'm wondering if Palacio and Canola had a coming together, and that's what caused Jens to get by, to move up to that 5th spot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very possible, and I might have picked up on that initially, Al, except that I you had Jens drop from timing and scoring, so that's a very good point. It makes sense now. Wow. Okay, well, in that case, great run for Jens. Wow. Top 5 looking sharp here in the closing laps.
He absolutely is. Checking time and working lap 39. Nine to go. I wonder if it's Mikey smoking. That was just tire smoke. I thought his engine was blowing smoke. Well, I searched high and wide.
Yeah, well, it's been an interesting race.
Go ahead.
Nope, I'm listening now.
I was just going to say, I searched high and wide for some. There were plenty of lowlights this season. We had a couple rough starts. You know, guys really, you know, for the most part, turned the corner early on this season. It was tough. Quite a few penalties. If you watched any of our broadcasts, we always run down the penalties prior to the races, and you know, there were a couple races there where there wasn't enough time in the day to go through them all. But as far as Rex, I hate to say it because Chris had a couple incidents this season that well, just left you scratching your head. And that one at Paul Ricard where he just out of nowhere just shot off track and you know, destroyed his car. That was pretty bad. But this one right here at Cheka has got to be quite possibly the worst wreck of the season. Hate to do this to you, Chris, but I think this takes the cake. So let's look back at Chris here at Cheka. Somehow managed to walk away from this one, but it was this part of the wall where there was a little piece of the wall that stuck out, and Chris hadn't seen it through all his practices, and bang, just clips the side of it and sent his BMW flying. That was just part of his second half of the season. Oh man, it was just ugly. I feel bad for Chris because he had a good run going earlier, especially in the first half of the season. But then after Paul Ricard and then that was just the icing on the cake, unfortunately for him. But you know what? I don't know how many championships Chris has won, but you know, everybody once in a while falls big victim to something like that.
Yeah, that was a pretty horrible wreck. I'm glad he was able to recover and get back out there on track. I discovered that little section of wall myself doing some recon laps out there at JICA, and it's a mistake I don't think I'll be repeating to visit that place again.
Chris also managed to blow his engine on qualifying lap last Thursday at Laguna Seca. Chris is my teammate in GT1, and somehow I got blamed for it, but whatever, I will take the blame. Chris had a good run and managed to work his way up to, I believe, 10th. He started. Chris in good shape to win the Thursday night championship this coming Thursday, so we'll see how that plays out. So good luck to him.
Yeah, certainly certainly well and truly in the hunt there. That was a pretty amazing moment to run out of your engine health there in the course of a single qualifying lap. That was very impressive and provided some fun moments in that qualifying period.
So meanwhile, up front, the gap is now just under 5 seconds. So,
Well, Parsons has some traffic up ahead, and Prato has got some clear track, and he can see Parsons up ahead. So, you know, it's going to give Andre a little more. Once he can see impetus, yes.
Yeah, well, Andres would sure like to have those 2 or 3 seconds back that he gave up those last couple laps before this pit stop rotation. But and he may fade again, honestly, trying to push that car to its limit. But now he's close enough to where it just takes the smallest of mistakes. Eiran and Andres both have been in this position a lot of times. Both very veteran guys. You don't expect mistakes, but you just never know. So we'll see what happens here, but it's possible Andres could hold this thing together, maybe get close enough to put a little bit of heat on Eiran.
So Monroy continues to run in fourth. Tell you what, Chris and Monroy have been pretty much on their own for the most part of this, most of these 2 hours here tonight at Spa. So unlike that Palacio Canola battle we witnessed earlier, where they were nose to tail, the same cannot be said for these two, and it can be hard to keep your concentration up for 2 hours when you got nobody around you. It can be a lonesome 2 hours for sure.
It certainly can. Yeah, and I think the pace of Juan Monroy falling off there early and precipitously was a real surprise this race. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on there. And I know Chris Moses expected to have a little bit better pace over the course of this entire distance. That quite hasn't materialized for him either. So looks like it's going to be the duel between the two at the front here in our closing laps. But both Chris and Juan, as mentioned, still pretty good seasons nonetheless.
Well, Jens Klempnauer hanging on to that 5th spot. He's got quite a gap over Palacio, who's running in 6th. So Jens doing a tremendous job running in the top 5. And it doesn't look like Palacio's been able to close that gap at all. So that's some legitimate pace there for Jens.
Yeah. Absolutely. Just a guy turned it on after that first pit stop. He found the pace, and he's been sticking with it. And I'd really like to see Jens finish this one off.
Christian Hamilton.
Quick look at the. Sorry, I was just taking a quick look at the standings here. Jens Klempnauer tied for 20th, but certainly could have been a lot better if he had finished off some of those results. His best one coming at Road Atlanta.
Well, Christian Hamilton currently in the 7th spot in that Sunred. Christian, pretty quiet night for him as well. Marty Eiran about to get put a lap down by Parsons. Marty was running, battling for that 3rd spot with Moses early on, but then got a stop and go. And, well, here's where you find him, about to get put a lap down, running in 8th, as he lets Parsons go. Meanwhile, Marco Conti running in 9th as he lets Andres by. Andres now has got to try and work his way past Marty. Mikey Monahan running in 10th. Greg Myers continues to run in that 11th spot. Lou and Jack.
They're still there.
They are.
Still
As
fighting.
Moses gets by, puts Jack. Jack lets Moses by. So Jack had closed that gap up on Lou a little bit. Jack currently 13th. Lou running 12th. Had to back off a bit to let Moses by. Meanwhile, Dave Rowley now reeling Jack Ivey in, so Rowley continues to run in that 14th spot. Solberger now in the points, running 15th, and Brian Story as well, running in the points and in 16th spot. Mascarelli, Gup Douglas at the moment. Johnny Lugnut's running 17th. just out of the points. Kevin Miller back in 18th. Doug Douglas, we saw him just a moment ago at Blanchimont running 19th. Jesse Caldani 20th. And Kurt Chandler 21st. That's it. Taking a look at the laps.
Yeah, well, as mentioned,
Go ahead, Brett. Sorry.
I was just going to say, as mentioned, a little bit of attrition here tonight, unfortunately, but congratulations to the guys that are out there. And just a quick note, congratulations over the course of the season to all these guys. It's been a real pleasure being able to bring the pictures as these guys battle out on track, and big props to all of them for some of the fantastic moments we've had during the season 19.
Absolutely, I want to second that, Brad. You know, as I mentioned, there were some lowlights, but at the same time, there were some great races to watch here. It was definitely a pleasure to broadcast all these races for you guys this season, and Brad and myself really get a kick out of doing it, and really enjoy bringing you these broadcasts for you guys every week. So. Thanks to everybody out there who tunes in week after week, and hopefully you guys enjoy it as much as we do.
So I'm just taking a look at that gap up front. Andres Prieto now within about 4.5 seconds of Eiran Parsons, continuing to slightly close that gap. I don't know if that's a question of maybe some lap traffic coming into play or what have you, but that gap's still continuing to come down slightly. And see, Andres just now has picked up a chunk of time, a good half second or so.
Yeah, he has. He, you know, he went in really good through, got through Lacombe really good. So.
Well, it always bolsters a guy's spirit when you can see the guy in front of you. It adds a little fuel to the fire, and Andres is a fantastic chaser. No question about it. This guy always performs better and better once he's in the race, and then continues to get yet even better as the race goes along. So, real trademark for Andres, and he's giving it all he's got.
Well, you more than anybody know how well Andres races as your teammate for many seasons in GT1, Anger Racing. You guys, one of the best tandem in GT1 history. One of the best teams out there. I believe you guys have the most team victories, if I'm not mistaken, for GT1. Or possibly combined.
Yeah, it's a possibility, unfortunately. I haven't held up my end of the bargain so well over the course of this last season, but we'll get back on it next season, come back strong, and look forward to another run at that sucker.
Well, Andre had some unfortunate disconnects in GT1 too, I believe. So had it not been for that, I'm sure you guys would have been right up there battling for that team title. So.
Yeah, Juan Monroy and Chris Moses here in third and fourth, continuing to slip off the pace a little bit.
Yeah, Andres lost Andres lost about a half second that last lap, so gap's now back to 4.5 seconds.
Yeah, we did see late in that last stint Andres fall off those last couple 3 laps, as mentioned. It wouldn't surprise me if the same thing happened here.
Parsons with a bit of a lockup. Just checking that gap. Yeah, it's still about 4.5, so not really saying that Andres is just fading, but looks like he might be at that point where the car's starting to fall off.
Yeah, gap's still holding steady for now, but you could be right. And I was going to mention both these guys and already have mentioned it, such NAGP veterans hold pace and are so consistent. Aaron Parsons in particular, but I'd say Andres is that's really what he has picked up here over the course of the last 4 or 5 seasons. Is not only having that speed, but really maintaining it through the course of a race. Whoa! Don't know if you caught that, but he almost finished his race right there. So yeah, good battle between a couple good veterans.
Well, working lap 45 as Parsons puts Hamilton a lap down. So Parsons has lapped up to P7. So that's pretty amazing.
He has lapped up to P7, but a lot of that a result again of guys going out of this race. Alex White, notably, Thiago Canola, of course, as well. So guys that you would figure would have held on to that lead lap, retiring this race.
Well, Moses continues to run third. Monroy running in fourth. Klempnauer hanging on to that 5th spot. Let's check that gap between him and Palacio. It's about 7 seconds, so Klempnauer increasing his lead over Palacio. Hamilton about to get chased down by Andres, so he's going to have to let Andres bite. So Marty, good recovery after getting that stop and go, back up running in the 8th spot.
Yeah, indeed.
Well, we have a monster three-way battle here for that 9th spot between Myers, Conti, and Mikey Monahan. 3 Audis going at it. This has the recipe for disaster.
Yeah, indeed, and another 3-way battle going on right behind them as well.
On board with Greg Myers as Mikey Monahan trying to hold off this late surge. Mikey with a bit of a lurch, hangs on to it.
Yeah, Mike Monahan has gotten through these guys. He was behind them, of course, after that trouble he ran into by that 2nd stop, but obviously the battle is still very closely joined. And as mentioned, Lou Mascarelli, David Rowley, and Jack Ivey right behind are fighting tooth and nail also for that 12th spot.
Mikey running wide through Blanchimont, but hangs on to it. See if Greg has a look.
Will you watch that?
On the inside, going to La Source. Ooh, Conti runs a little bit wide. It's going to be a drag race to Eau Rouge. See who blinks first.
Yeah.
That's not conducive. Too wide. Looks like. Ooh, oh!
Oh!
Oh, Greg, he did save it. Greg gets by. What a remarkable save by Conti, and what a bold pass by Greg. I mean, that's having a lot of confidence in your ability to go too wide through there. Good job by Conti to hang on to that.
If I was in that chicken situation, Al, I would have backed off. I'm just saying right now, good stuff by those guys, but I would have backed up.
So great pass by Greg. Nice job.
Yeah, indeed, and I can tell you what, while we were watching that battle, that Andres Prieto gap actually dipped into the 3-second range.
David Rowley going to work on Liquid Lou, as you mentioned. Rowley's got some pace late, managing to get by Jack Ivy. Now he's going to work on loop.
Yeah, closing lap fireworks here for these guys. They definitely want to pick up these positions.
Ivy's caught up to this battle as well, so he's right in the middle of this one. On board with Jack. Hang on to it, Jack. Rowley having a look on the inside.
Oh!
Oh, he checked up. I don't think there was contact.
Oh, Marco Conti down pit lane now.
Out of
Fuel
gas.
problems, I suspect.
We called it.
Indeed, Al. Good spot. Good spot. Putting Lou into a possible 11th position here.
See if Rowley gets a run on Lou down the down the Kemmel Straight. He might. Not going to be close enough. Ooh, Ivy! Ivy's off the pace. Not sure what happened to him. He's got some damage to the front of that Porsche. I wonder if he had a problem through Eau Rouge.
I think it was before Rouge. Maybe at La Source, something we didn't catch behind those two guys. Meanwhile, Andres has picked up about another second. Ezra maybe backing off here a little bit, just taking the sucker home.
That's it. I think we're working lap 48, so this is going to do it here. Eiran Parsons. Going to come away the winner. Andres trying hard to catch up here at the end, but just not enough time. That's it. Parsons is your winner. And T-Brock Danband takes home the team championship. Preto will finish second. Chris Moses is going to take that third spot. As we watch this final battle here, as Rowley looks like he's going to make the pass on Lou. And he gets it done. Let's see if Lou can respond going into La Source. Great late pass by Rowley. Wow. Lou having a look on the inside. Not going to be enough. Wow. Nice job by Rowley.
Tough break for Lou, but tough break for Lou, but still a great result for him. And David Rowley made up for some mistakes late in this race as well.
Monroy going to take that fourth position. And Jens Klempnauer. What an accomplishment. Wow. Jens, keep it on track, buddy. Still still got to get through Blanchimont and the bus stop. Had a bit of a moment there, but luckily he kept it off the wall. Jens takes home that 5th spot. And Esteban Palacio, the final car on the lead lap. Some damage to the front of that car is going to take P6. And that's going to do it.
Yeah, Esteban Palacio actually making up a little bit of ground there on Jens, but certainly, as you can see, was not quite enough. Ah, good stuff, good stuff.
Certainly is. And we have, we have our race winner first off, Eiran Parsons. Congratulations on the win. Dominating fashion here tonight. Looking back at the last week's qualifying race, seeing what happened to Alex White. Kind of wish you didn't make that mistake through Eau Rouge you did last week. Eiran, your copy? Oh, did we lose him?
Yes.
Hold on.
We are experiencing technical
Oh, here we go.
difficulties.
Eiran, you copy?
Yeah, I'm here now.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, my controller crashed.
Oh, that's okay. I just want to say congratulations on the win here tonight. Looking back at the qualifying race last week, seeing what happened to White disconnecting, kind of wish you things turned out different last week at in that one.
Yeah, I think I did the math before, and I think we ended up with a tie. Is that correct?
Yeah, you guys.
On the count vote?
Yeah, you guys tied, and he wins based on victories.
Yeah, yeah. So all I needed was one more point during the entire season, and it could have been different. But
Yeah, it's a tough way
I
to.
could today.
No, you did all you could do. I mean, you couldn't do any better, I don't think, unless I'm missing something. But anyway, tremendous job, tremendous race here tonight. How did the car feel? You look like you were in control from the drop of the. I mean, we saw Andres have a look going into La Source right there at the start of the race, but kind of cooked it going into La Source, and from there you pretty much checked out.
Yeah, the car was really, really good at this track. Especially good on high fuel, and I practiced my starts before the race, so right from the drop of the flag I really gunned it and went for it, and was able to pull a bit of a gap on Andre. But then after the first pit stop, Andre really turned up the wick, and he pushed me all the way to the end. I was sweating bullets at the end there, but just managed to hang on at the end.
Yeah, Andre certainly seemed to gain a little bit of pace, tiny bit of pace over the course of the entire race. We saw he slipped off a little bit there. The end of that coming up that last pit stop could have saved the day for you maybe. But I was kind of curious. It is overall a pretty good season, but I mean, how do you rank it in terms of effort? We know you came up just a tiny bit short in terms of championship, but how about overall? Do you feel that your season went pretty well?
Yeah, apart from some some misfortune in some races, I was fairly happy with my driving. Pretty happy with the speed that I had in the car at pretty much every track. Just some mistakes and some bad luck stopped me from scoring more points during the season.
Well, I want to bring in your teammate here. John Houston, do you copy?
Yep, gotcha.
Well, congratulations to you and Aaron on your on team championship here on NAGP. But John, I believe this is your first team title, right?
Yeah, it is. Aaron and I have been working he's been working really hard with me, and we're getting some pace. It's nice to finally put it together. I'm kind of disappointed I threw it out in Rouge. That gets me all the time there, but had a pretty good run going up to that point.
Well, we highlighted your finish there at Cheka when you finished second. That was by far your best finish here at NAGP, and that was huge in terms of the team championship. That really put you guys in control for the most part, knowing that Eiran had quite a lot of pace here at Spa and could contest for the victory, which he ultimately did get. So, guys securing that team championship was a big accomplishment.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, congratulations there, John. It was a great run, and you've had some fantastic results over the course of the season. As Al mentioned, that second place there at Chika, but I've also noticed a few retirements there, including this race. Is that something you expect to be able to clean up over the course of this next season or two? Maybe add a few more of those championships?
Well, I think that really speaks to what I did at Cheka, was just kept it consistent and on the track, and sometimes that's a little tough to do. It's one of the things that I do work on, is doing that consistency. So let's hope that more practice will lend itself to that.
Well, thank you, John, and as well for both you guys put on a great show for us here throughout the season, and congratulations on a great team championship victory. Aaron, unfortunately for you, he fell just short of the driver's title, but still, you guys accomplished something nonetheless. So, good job, and good luck next season.
Thanks, Al and Brad. And congrats to Alex on winning the Drivers' Championship. He drove a really fantastic season. Had awesome pace all season.
Yeah, he certainly did. We spoke to him after he disconnected, so we mentioned that his pace was remarkable at some tracks. It was just awesome, like you said. But I'm sure you'll be there again next season, fighting for another championship, Aaron. So good luck, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Yep, congratulations.
Well, there you have it, Brad. Alex White winning the team championship. T-Brock Dam Bam the team title. And you know what? We forgot to bring in one more guy. Greg Myers, do you copy?
Yes, sir.
Greg, we want to congratulate you on winning the Competition Index Prize for Season 19. I know this is something you strive for going into every season, and you accomplished that. You every week after week you put on a display of consistency, finishing well, not always qualifying well, but always getting into the top 10 at least, and for the most part finishing on the lead lap. So big congratulations to you. I'm sure it feels great.
Yeah, it does feel pretty good. I was extremely nervous coming into the race, just hoping that I'd be able to do all the laps without getting disconnected or anything like that. So I'm really happy. And I had a pretty good race too.
Yeah, well, it was a great consistent run once again, Greg, and congratulations on that competition index. And no questions from me. I just you did a great job out there, and I know that that's a title you'd like to fight for again, even next season. Maybe get that qualifying even in a little order, and maybe finish up a little higher in the point standings. Congratulations also on a nice points finish. It looks like you'll finish around the sixth spot. Oh, wait a minute. I think Esteban might barely have clipped you. This might be FYI for you here. You might have slipped to 7th, but still 7th overall in points in this crowd. Well done, Gregory, and good season.
Yeah, I'm very pleased with my season, and I'm looking forward to do it again next time because I pretty much, by completing the most laps, I won the season race. I won the war.
And it is a grind, so congratulations again, Greg, and good luck next season.
Thanks very much.
All right, Brad, there you have it. We've talked to our winners here in season 19, and I want to thank you, Brad, for helping me out broadcasting this this past season. Without you, I'd be lost, quite frankly. So, thank you, Brad, and thank you.
Well, I don't know about that.
And thank you, everybody out there who's tuned in throughout this past season, as well as Thursday nights. Just keep in mind this Thursday we have the final race from Laguna Seca. Jack Ivey and Kurt Chandler will be broadcasting there. Want to quickly mention next season we'll be running GTR2 at least one more time on Monday and Thursday, and I'm kind of working out what we're going to do. Once something we feel will work with the league comes out, then we'll decide to make a change. But until then, we're going to stick with GTR2 for at least one more season. And also we have our iRacing Saturday Night League starting January 26th. So anybody interested in doing that, feel free to hop on the forums and let us know you're interested. All right, and thanks again, everybody. Thanks again, Brad, and see you all next season.